Hey, what's up everyone, Morey Croson here, and today we're going to be going over your arm swing when you're sprinting. This is something that is super important in order to really maximize your top end speed. So we're going to go over a couple key concepts to be able to understand, as well as some of the key mistakes and some exercise to be able to do. So it's going to be a lot of information here on the video. I really hope that it helps you out. As always, if you like the information, go ahead and click that thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you have any questions, comments, recommendations, or anything like that, go ahead and leave those down below. We're going to hop in the video right now. All right, so I just want to quickly go over first with the arm swing, how that ends up relating to the actual sprint. And so obviously we want to be able to maximize both end ranges of motion here. So when we're driving back, what that ends up relating to is going to be the opposite side leg and how it's pushing off, right? So if I am going here and I'm really long through here, I will see a lot of people get a lot of extension and really maybe try to lift the arm up too high. What that does is that just elongates the contact time, or makes it so those backside mechanics don't end up syncing up to make it so you're able to push off, right? So what you end up needing to do, and what you need to be able to work on, is being able to drive back forward, because when you drive back forward, that's going to help that back leg come forward. And it's very similar when it comes to when we're talking about the front side mechanics. So now I'm going to bring my arm out in front, and then when I bring my arm out in front, when I pull back, my leg is going to also go back, right? And so really when you're here, you want to be able to aggressively pull back to be able to make it so now you're able to generate a lot of force here. And then when you drive back here and get that arm all the way back here, we want to be really pulling that elbow up, right, and that arm up, to make it so now, and utilizing the shoulder, so make it so you get the vertical force. So when you go and you push too far back here, then it's going to force you to kind of push off going backwards like that, right? And that's going to make it so now you're going to get more of a horizontal force, which can be good at the start, right? When you first are getting going, you want to be able to be somewhat horizontal, but you want to be able to build yourself up to be able to really generate a lot of force going, or a lot of quickness coming forward, right? You don't want to be stuck back here with your arm. I see that a lot when guys get stuck with their, hand, elbow, whatever, back, too far back here. And then I also see a lot where people are very, only front dominant. They're not really getting much of a pull, which will also make it so now you're not going to be able to generate very much force as you're pulling down, right? So you want to be able to be here and pull down here in order to really maximize that. Another common thing that I'll see is that when you're coming forward, just spending like too much extra elbow movement, right? So coming here, bending a lot with the arms, or then when you're coming down, like just pushing straight down, almost like you're just trying to beat a drum, right? Like going here. That is something that people will do when it comes to like route running, right? Getting in and out of their brakes. They'll go and boom, 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 boom. People will teach that. I don't necessarily like that, just because I think it reinforces a bad habit that then we'll see again when they're sprinting, right? They'll go and be trying to do this, when really we want to make it all of a shoulder movement here, and being able to maximize how much force we're getting back, and then also how much of a vertical rise we're getting, and then also being able to be quick and getting to that end range, right? If you're spending too much time in either end range, that's going to impact how you're going to be able to generate force, or how you're going to be able to push off the ground, right? The whole idea of the arm swing is to be able to match up with the foot contact time. So just give you a little bit of understanding, I do want to quickly go into, and now looking more on the front side, when you're driving forward, right, we want to make sure in terms of like the plane, when we're driving forward, we want to make sure that the hand slightly comes inwards, right? We don't want to be crossing over to make it so then we're pushing and our elbows going out, but we do want to slightly come in to make it so we can engage the pecs, which will help us in being able to drive back and utilize the lats, right? So we don't want to be too wide with our hands. We do want to be slightly coming inwards, right? And then as we're pulling back, there is going to be a slight abduction that's going, where your shoulder is going away. So your elbow is going to be slightly going away as you're going back. And we just want to make sure that that wrist stays pretty locked into place. I see a lot of guys that will be like really wristy as they're going through. You want to really try to lock that wrist into place so you're not moving too much into here as you're going through, right? So you want to be able to work on that. Now, I want to go over a couple drills to be able to help you out with that. Really, it's just a stationary drill. It ends up being the big thing, right? So just what we were doing here, where we're just, running in place, just working on it, and then you can, like one of the common drills is to start off going 50%, and then build yourself up to make it so you're going faster, and being able to really maximize that, right? You could also do drills where you do like 3 of them fast, right? So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? And so that's going to be a common one to be able to do as well. You use too, so you just go down on the box, have your feet out in front of you to make it so now you're going to have a slight forward lean, and then you're just doing the same type of thing. You could just start off kind of slow, just working on it. Again, you're working on coming across, right, with the bench, and just kind of feeling that out. I think this is the best thing to do, is just feeling out what you want to be doing with the arms, making sure that you're able to keep good extension, and with the hands, you don't necessarily have to have them balled up. You don't need to have them super extended. I mean, I don't recommend you balling them up. If anything, extend through there, but then from here you can add more speed, right? And then you can also go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? And then the place that I want to be is really driving my hands down next to my hips, and then as they're coming forward, I want to come up about to the fingertips about at my eye height. It ends up being really the position that you want to be in. It's going to be a little bit different when it comes to start mechanics through top and speed mechanics, so it's not always going to be the same. When we start off at the beginning, it's going to be, you're not going to be able to get your hands as far back just because of how the alignment is of your body, right? So you're going to have to keep, the hands are going to end up being a little bit closer to your waist, and you're going to have to really, work on those front side mechanics to be able to drive down to get you going. But then once you get to your top end speed, it should be about the same in terms of how much length you get behind in terms of, and then also in the combination of how much length you get with your hands out in front. So yeah, I just want to give you guys a quick tutorial about the arm swing. I really hope this helps you out. There's a lot of great information in here. As always, if you like the information, I would check out more of the information we have in the description down below to help you out with some programs, with some breakdowns, and some things that can really provide a lot of value to your sprinting career, your sprinting performance, your sprinting overall mechanics. I just had a recent guy that sent in a video about his arm swing, did a breakdown on the arm swing, and just provided a lot of value through that, right? And I don't always go work on the arms. Obviously, I a lot of times focus a lot more on the lower body, but for this particular athlete, just didn't get a lot of coaching with the arm swing and understanding what exactly you need to be doing, and being able to get some visual recommendations through that really helped him out a lot. And I think there's a lot of guys out there that are in that similar position that could really get a lot of benefit from being able to get some coaching on some of the specifics within the sprinting performance. So yeah, as always, thanks for watching. If that resonated with you, check out the description. We have a couple things that we're offering right now that I think are great deals, so check that out, and we'll talk to you soon.